The Devil's Pact of Holocrack. The Swamp at midnight, Louisiana, 1879. The town of Holocrack lay in the shadow of swamp and cypress trees. People were starving, crops were failing, and disease spread like wildfire. Many families failed, but those who remained clung desperately to faith. At the center of town stood Saint Augustine Church, run by Father Elijah Crowe. By day, he was a preacher. By night, he was a man consumed by despair. His prayers were unions were his people dying, and his own faith filtering. One evening, Eliza found an old book hidden in the church cellar, bound in leather that felt warm as if alive. The cover bore on title only a symbol of a horned figure. Inside were cants written in Latin and blood-red ink, and at the bottom of one page a warning: "He hears those who call at midnight." The summoning. One moonless night, Eliza ventured deep into the swamp. He drew a circle of salt, lit 13 black candles, and began to chant the forbidden words. At first, nothing happened. Then the ground shook, frogs and crickets fell silent. A sulphurous stench filled the air. The water bubbled as if boiling. And then out of the mist he appeared, tail cloaked in shadows, with horns circling from his head and eyes glowing like mortal fire. His smile was wide and sharp, a smile that promised both gifts and grabs. "You dare call me, creature? Speak, what is your desire?" "Eliza, trembling, budget, save my people, give me wealth, power, and faith that never breaks." The devil chuckled, a sound like thunder echoing in the swamp. "I will grant it, but power must be fate. This year you will deliver me one soul. Fail me, and I will claim your body and spirit." Eliza, blinded by desperation, agreed. The cross of 13 years. From that night forward, Holocrack changed, crops flourished, money poured in. Eliza's church became grand, its bells ringing across the land. People come from faraway towns to hear his sermons, but every year one person disappeared. At first, it was the sick, the elderly, those whose loss could be explained. But whisper began, travelers vanished, children too. Townsfolk noticed the pattern, but Elijah silenced them with fairy sermons. God's punishment falls on the sinful. Yet he knew the truth. At midnight each year, Elijah returned to the swamp. He whispered a name. The devil took them, but the devil is never satisfied. The 13th depth. By the 13th year, Elijah was old, weary, and worked with guilt. He buzzed to be freed. But the devil demanded more, not just a soul, an entry family. Elijah refused. That night, Holocrack descended into madness. The church bells rang by themselves at midnight, even though no one was inside. The crucifixed blade. Windows shattered. A voice boomed from the swamp. "You warned me." The townsfolk stormed Saint Augustine Church, demanding answer. Inside they found Elijah, kneeling before an altar, his skin cracked black as he burned off within. His empty eye stared upward, his mouth frozen in a scam. On the wall, scars deep into the wood where the words, "The debt is paid," the abandoned church. After Elijah's death, the Holocrack collapsed. People abandoned the town, leaving only ruins. The church still stands, hidden among the trees, rotting but unbroken. But the devil never left. Travelers climb. The church bells still ring at midnight. Hunters hear chanting in the swamp, though no one is here. And those foolish enough to step inside say the pace and filled with shadows, listening to a preacher who no longer exists. At the altar, Elijah's burnt body still kneels, untouched by time, and if you lean close, you will hear his voice whisper, "Don't call him, don't call him." But sometimes another voice answers, "What is you, Desio?" The modern course. In 1997, a group college students exploring abandoned towns entered Holocrack. They laughed at the legends, filmed the ruins, and read each other to spend the night inside the church. At midnight, the bells rang. Their camera recorded the sound of chanting, then screaming. The next morning, police found the church empty. No students, no belongings, only the camera lying on the altar. The final second shadows, a shadowy figure stepping closer, closer until the skin went black. None of the students were ever found. To this day, Holocrack is abandoned. Locals warn outsiders never to go near the swamp because the devil is still waits there, and if you speak to him, he will give you everything you want. But at what price? Question is, if the devil appeared before you tonight and offered to grant